Great. Well, welcome everyone. If you are just joining us, thank you so much for being here. Um, if you would like to go ahead and share in the Q&A box what company you're with, we'd love to know who we're chatting with this morning. But thank you so much for spending some time with us today. So we are representatives, your employee relations team for the University of Tulsa Center for Career Development and Professional Engagement. And today we're going to be talking about our virtual career fair coming up on September 24th. So before we jump in, I wanted to share a few housekeeping items. I'm sure all of you have been on webinars before, but just as a reminder, all participants are in listen-only mode, but please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen to type in questions as we are speaking. And we'll do our best to monitor that throughout the webinar because we will be going over some technical information today, but we'll probably save most of the questions for the end unless we are able to catch it before the end. So be sure to go ahead and type those questions in as you are listening in. And then this presentation is also being recorded. So if there are other representatives attending the virtual fair, we'll be able to send you this recording as soon as it's available. We'll email it out to all registered employers. And then hopefully we'll get that to you by the end of this week, so by tomorrow, Monday probably at the latest. We will also be going over a lot of Handshake specific information, as you can guess. So it might be helpful to follow along if you have your Handshake profile pulled up on your screen as we go through these step-by-step instructions. Also, this is a pro tip, and some of you might know this, but you can see the box on the screen of whoever is speaking, and you can actually move this box around. So if it's blocking maybe some text on the screen, you should be able to just click and drag, and that way it's not blocking any important information. All right, I think that's everything. We have some go-to-use in the question and answer, so we're excited to get started. So we'll go ahead and start. So first of all, we wanted to make sure you all knew who our team was. Some of you have been around for a while, some of you may be completely brand new employers, and we're so thankful for your engagement and participation. But I wanted to introduce our leadership first. So we have Christy Caves as our Executive Director of the Center for Career Development and Professional Engagement. Melissa Radford is our Associate Director, and Leonel Thompson is the Assistant Dean and Director of the Business Career Center. So Christy and Melissa and our team are supporting our central office, which supports our College of Engineering and Natural Sciences, Arts and Sciences, and Health Sciences. Also, we serve alumni, and we have a very engaged alumni base as well. And Leonel is our contact for all business students. Next up, we wanted you all to meet our wonderful career coaches. They are the heart and soul of our team. And often when we get jobs and internship opportunities from you as employers, we share it immediately with our coaches because they are the direct line to our students. So I wanted to introduce Brooke Smart. She is our career coach for the College of Arts and Sciences. Chris Wong is our career coach for our Engineering and Natural Sciences College. Cassandra Crawford Ziegler is our coach for the Oxley College of Health Sciences and Pre-Health Professions. And then we have Anita O'Daniel, who's our student success coach for our veteran and military connected students. So Anita also does a great job of doing separate programming for our veteran population. So I wanted to get their faces in front of you guys so you know who's working directly with the students and getting your opportunities out there. And last but not least, the four of us who are speaking to you, and we're so excited to be speaking to you today, your employer services team. So my name is Jessica Bradley, and I support our employer services, employer relations, career fairs, and events. And as you can see from my background, I'm very excited for football season to start. So hopefully, I know some have been canceled, but hopefully TU's schedule will go on as planned. So ready for football. And I'll turn it over to Jen to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Parks, and I work on developing new employer partners for the University of Tulsa. And I am also very excited about football and basketball.
Hi, my name is Sierra Osarolu. No, you do not have to pronounce that last name. I am the Employer Services Coordinator. I support all current employers, and I'm also the resident handshake guru.
I'm Kelly Collins, and I'm the Experiential Learning Coordinator. I help our students find business professionals or industry professionals that they can do informational interviews with, job shadowing, and I assist with internship.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. And wanted to share, of course, we are all virtual. So our office has been operating virtually since March, probably like many of you. And we wanted to just reiterate what options are available to you moving forward for your fall recruitment season. So employer spotlights are becoming even more popular now that we have the capacity to do it virtually. So not only are we able to reach more, employers if you're out of state, but we're able to really specifically target our student base. So employer spotlights, of course, we can open this up to all majors. But also we could specifically target a certain major or a certain student group you're looking for and help set that up for you. On-campus interviews are not on campus this fall, so they are going to be virtual, and we would love your help in tracking this information since we aren't going to be on campus. So we can still support you virtually if you will add your schedule to the Handshake platform and you're able to choose virtual or add in a link. We can still help drive students to sign up for those interviews if you are tracking that via Handshake. And if you aren't tracking via Handshake, we would still love to know about those interviews so we can track that ourselves to see where our students are interviewing virtually. And then last but not least, of course, jobs and internship opportunities are very important to keep posting. Our students are still seeking, especially if you have virtual or remote opportunities. And I'm really excited that Kelly's on our call too, because if there is an out-of-the-box way to engage our students, she is your go-to to help set that up. So if it's not a job or internship you're hiring for, we can help brainstorm other ways to get our students engaged and plugged in. So be sure to still submit those via Handshake, and we are still sharing that with our students. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jen, and we're going to jump right into our outline for today. Again, it's going to be brief. We're not going to go super long today, but again, please be sure to type those questions in as we go through. So take it away, Jen.
So just a kind of a brief explanation of what we're going to go over today. We'll do a brief overview of the fair. We're going to walk you through how to schedule your day step by step, because that was a little intimidating when we first started, but it's actually very easy. We're going to give you some ideas of what to do before the fair so that you have the best experience, and then hit on some best practices to make sure you get the most out of your day. So just to confirm, September 24th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is an all majors career fair, and it's open to all students and alumni. Students are typically seeking full-time postgraduate opportunities or internships. The fair obviously is being held on Handshake. When we realized that we wouldn't be able to do an in-person fair this year, we did go through and research a bunch of different platforms, but ultimately we're really drawn to Handshake. It's easy to use. I think most of you are probably already familiar with Handshake, and the functionality that it offers, I think, will give you guys a really good career fair. You'll still be able to engage with students in a very meaningful way. And there's even some upsides. We realize that you guys aren't going to have to deal with 75 students coming up to you all at once. You'll be able to schedule your day, and it's a little bit more predictable. So there are 4 components to scheduling. The first step is to add team members. And then there's also the group sessions option, which you can have 3 group sessions of up to 50 students. The next step is to set up your one-on-one sessions, which is just as it sounds, just a direct conversation with a student. And then finally, to accept your schedule, Handshake will send you a confirmation email. And then once you accept it, it goes live to the students. So we'll walk you through step by step each of these areas. So about your team members, Handshake just enabled the capability to have up to 100 team members per registration, which initially to me sounded a little crazy, but then the more I thought about it, it really opens up a lot of opportunities for you guys. You don't have to sacrifice any recruiter positions. You can bring in subject matter experts to any of your group sessions. So say you're hiring a petroleum engineer, you could actually have one of your engineers out in the field dial in on his or her cell phone and show students a day in the life kind of experience. And students are always very compelled by being able to interact with people in the field that they're interested in. And obviously with the virtual platform, your team members don't have to travel to campus anymore. You can pull in people from all over the world to engage with students. The person that created the career fair registration is really what I'm referring to as the ringleader. They are the person that will select which team members can attend and set the schedules. And they also are the only ones that are going to have the ability to edit the schedules. So if a conflict comes up, the career fair registrant is going to be the person that will be able to change and adjust the schedules. And another point is that all team members that attend the career fair must have a Handshake account. And we'll walk you through that too. So if you have a teammate that is not already on Handshake, this is the link that you can send them, and they just have to enter in their work email and kind of follow the Handshake process. Pretty simple. A confirmation email will come from Handshake. So please let them know that if they don't receive a confirmation from Handshake, to check their spam folder. And then that's all they have to do is just accept it. The owner of the company's Handshake profile is going to have to approve each team member requesting access. So if you are unaware of who initially created your company's Handshake account, please just email us. We can look it up and let you know who that is. So to access your schedule and start the whole process, you just want to go to your home page and click on the fairs option in the bottom left of your toolbar. And then just search for the University of Tulsa. It should bring up the Virtual Cane Career Fair. Once you select that, you'll have an option to add schedule, and that's where you start the process. So the first step, obviously, is to add the team members. So once all your team members have an account, all you have to do is go in, click their name, and then, sorry, at the bottom, just say add team, and they're ready to go. And now I'm going to turn it over to the Handshake guru, Sierra, to walk you through the nitty-gritty.
Hello, everyone. I am going to just walk you kind of through the logistics of setting up your career fair. Registration does include 3 30-minute sessions. These sessions are strictly 30 minutes long and cannot be adjusted. We advise developing a script and practicing through Zoom, WebEx, or any other virtual platform you may have to stay practicing within that 30-minute time limit. Because as soon as that 30-minute time limit is reached, it is shut off. So they are very strict on group session and one-on-one times. You could actually opt out of group sessions. You do not have to participate in group sessions if all you would like to do is have one-on-one sessions with qualified students throughout the day. Qualifications cannot be set for group sessions, but they can be set for one-on-one sessions. And we will go over this in the next few slides, so don't worry about it right now. We're just going to go over group sessions. In group sessions, kind of as a script, we advise to start by giving some information on your company, what you do, any available positions that you may have, and then reference a student to the position that's posted in Handshake. At the end of the session, we advise giving 5 to 10 minutes for a Q&A session, and I will show you how to navigate this Q&A session in the next slide. I do want to note that there is a limit of 50 attendees per session, which includes the hosting team members. If you have 2 representatives hosting a group session, you will actually only have 48 students in attendance. All right, so to add group sessions, external video links can only be live links, meaning unfortunately you cannot currently use a pre-recorded link. I have had this question from a few employers who would like to just go ahead and share their recorded recruiting video, but unfortunately at this time it is not available. Students will be able to ask questions in the chat as well as raise their hand. This allows employers to unmute the student to ask questions. So that's why we advise giving those 5 to 10 minutes for student questions. You need to be as descriptive as possible in the description. Definitely if you are a company that is hiring for multiple divisions. Just a pro tip for you. So in order to add leaders to group sessions, you can choose any of the team members that you added in the first step of scheduling your career fair. You would just go through and put the check mark next to the name of the recruiter that you would like to host each group session. We advise that at least 2 members for group sessions, for example, 1 to run the session and another to filter student questions as they come through. And be sure to always click the Assign Team button, as this can be misstepped and your information could not be saved. Luckily, Handshake has a lot of stops embedded into their system to help you through this process. So let's talk about those one-on-one sessions. One-on-one sessions are 10 minutes long and the time on this cannot be adjusted. Qualifications can be set for one-on-one sessions. And like I said, we will go over this. Career Services, unfortunately, cannot edit required preferences for employer registrants or remove certain preferences from schedules. So it is up to the career fair registrant to actually put the preferences on the one-on-one team members' schedule. Team members will only get the schedule has been created for you. So like Jennifer said, just make sure that you are in communication with the scheduler or owner of the career fair. Team members will be able to manage their own schedules. So this is the difference between the team member and the registrant. Team members will be able to manage their own schedules after accepting them by marking as not attending for group sessions and then marking as busy for one-on-one sessions. A student can sign up for a one-on-one session up to 30 seconds before the start of a session. So please remind your team members to mark their slot as busy in order to take breaks between these sessions. And in order to block those sessions, you will be able to view your schedule and there will be 3 small dots to the right of each time of your schedule, and you can mark as busy for one-on-one or not attending for group sessions. And like I just said, representatives are the only ones who can add one-on-one sessions for teammates. Representatives are also the only ones who can set preferences for the sessions as well. I know it sounds a little repetitive, but it is very imperative that it is known that the representative is the only person who can actually do these steps. So you can go in and add your one-on-one sessions for each team member, and you can set qualifications for each one. For example, Cassandra Crawford-Sigler, I selected to add one-on-one sessions for her day. And yes, I would like to set preferences for her students. No, you do not have to set preferences for students if you are looking to recruit any student on campus. But here are the one-on-one qualifications that are available for you to filter off of. By selecting these preferences, you're limiting student sign up to only students that meet these qualifications. As a reminder, qualifications can only be set by the career fair registrant. So all of the steps we have walked through are registrant steps only. Different qualifications can be set for each team member if recruiting different groups of students. For example, I had an employer who wanted to represent multiple divisions within their organization. So I advise that you be very descriptive in your group sessions in order to differentiate the group sessions. And then I would recommend to set specific requirements for the type of students you wish to recruit. You can filter on topics such as school years, graduation date, the minimum acceptable GPA of your organization, your major, as well as if you require any work authorization. If I am going to recruit, if Cassandra Crawford-Sigler is going to recruit for accounting students, please select business, entrepreneurship, and human resources. Then you will be able to see the drop-down menu and select accounting. If you are recruiting for multiple divisions, you can go into the next one-on-one session for a different team member and set their qualification, for example, supply chain management. Make sure to confirm your schedule and invite your team. And preferences can be changed up to the time of the career fair.
And Sierra, we have one question while you are still on setting the qualifications.
Of course.
I think you answered it, but just to clarify, will team members be able to say they are only speaking to finance versus IT and how to funnel that to the correct person? And
yes.
It might be helpful to share the student side of that as well.
Absolutely. So if I was a student, I'm going to go back a couple of slides to show this. So here we have 3 different team members who can represent 3 different divisions within one organization. So if I was to go into Kelly Collins and add a one-on-one session, I would select whichever division your company is recruiting for. For example, one team member can represent accounting. The other one can represent communications. Handshake has given us quite the ability to be able to narrow down. And on the student side, students that fall within those qualifications will be the only students that are allowed to sign up for those sessions. So if a student goes into the career fair and they are an accounting student, they will not see a one-on-one session available for supply chain management. I hope this answered the question. Wonderful. So the very last piece after you have set your schedules is to accept your schedules. So after your organization has, your organizational representative has finalized all career fair details, set up those divisions if they wish in one-on-one qualifications. Remember to be descriptive in your group sessions to differentiate if you do have divisions. An automatic email will be sent to each team member. We have an example here, and you can review and claim your schedule. Once you've claimed your schedule, you'll be able to manage your group sessions and one-on-one blocks. So team members can go into their individual one-on-one session can block slots at their discretion. Remember to give yourself time for a break or time to review previous sessions. Like I said earlier, a student can join up to 30 seconds before a one-on-one session. So give yourself time to review who you've already interviewed and give yourself time for lunch as well. I'm going to now turn it over to Kelly to tell you how to prepare for the fair.
Hello. Okay, I'm going to tell you a few tips to prepare for right before you following up after the fair is over. First of all, remember that any changes that you need to make to your schedule, the person that registered for your fair, the fair registrant, is the only one that can change the master schedule, and your individual recruiters can only make changes by marking not attending or busy on their group sessions or one-on-one sessions. Browser, we do not support Internet Explorer, so you need to make sure that you're able to use Chrome, Firefox, or OS. And you also want to make sure that your devices are ready for use. So you may run a network test or internet or audio visual tests with Twilio. All right, so to prepare for the fair, student engagement. Okay, in order to search your students and to be more engaging with them, you can filter the students that you're looking for based on their school year, their major, their graduation date, and even their GPA. You can view public student profiles only if they have been approved by the university. And once you have searched those students, you think you have some good candidates available, you can send up to 100 proactive messages to those students per recruiting season in Handshake. There are a few catches, and so you want to make sure that your trust score is plus 80. If you're not sure what your trust score is, if you go to your employer profile page and you scroll down to the bottom right, it'll say trust score, and I'll have the number out to the side. You will also be able to send unlimited messages to students that you've engaged with in the past. So if they've responded to an email that you've sent previously, you will be able to send unlimited messages to those students. The bonus is that if they have signed up for one of your group sessions or a one-on-one session, that counts as have previously engaged with them, and so you will also be able to send them unlimited messages that won't count towards your 100. In order to send messages to students, you want to navigate to the Search Students tab and message students by looking for the blue communication bubble, and a send message box will pop up and you will be able to send those messages. Okay, on the day of the fair, you want to make sure that you have a reliable internet connection. You can test on Twilio, your internet, audio, and visual. Make sure you're on the correct browser. We do not support, we only support Chrome, Firefox, and OS. And you can actually get onto the career fair site an hour before the career fair actually starts, and you can test your video at that time as well. A helpful hint on the day of the fair is you can label your students as you're meeting with them throughout the day in your one-on-one sessions. And we're going to show you a little bit of how you can label them so that you can easily filter them after the fair is over.
And Kelly, there's a question about will the students be able to reply to those messages? And I am going to say yes, they'll be able to reply back to that recruiter.
Okay, thank you, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's how you can label students when you're interviewing them throughout the fair. So you can go to a student's profile, and if you look on the bottom right section, it has a thing that says labels. You want to set your labels before the fair. So you want to determine with your team, okay, we'll mark interview as one of the labels as we go through our day. And you'll just type that into the search and then hit create label. And so after the fair, you'll be able to filter using that one term, and all of the students that you want to interview will pop up. And this is a really good example of what a one-on-one session looks like. So you can kind of get an idea of how those will look. If you run into any tech problems on the day of the fair, you can click on the bottom left-hand side under the settings, and you'll see the audio settings, video settings, and even report a problem will pop up. Remember, if you're reporting a problem, it goes to Handshake, and they can only fix Handshake-related issues. So if you're having trouble with internet connection or something with your device, they won't be able to assist with that. But you can look through your audio settings and video settings and see if it's something that you can fix quickly.
Kelly, you cut out just a little bit there, so I'm going to give just a little bit of an overview on this page. To get it down to the nitty-gritty, Handshake is able to fix any problem that is within Handshake. You're able to click settings during any live session and choose from any of the following issues that you are having and report the problem to Handshake. Unfortunately, the University of Tulsa employer team has very limited access to be able to offer any tech support during the day. If you have any issues with students, or if you have a bunch of no-show students, we are more than happy to help with any of those situations. And you will have our contact information at the end of this webinar. All right, Kelly, sorry about that. I'll let you continue.
That's okay, thank you. I'm wondering what's going on this end here, so we'll try to continue. Okay, so after the fair, you will have access to an RSVP table that includes the student information for students registered for your sessions. You can message these students with the Career Fair RSVP list. And again, you've already had contact with them, so you can have unlimited messaging with them as long as you have a trust score of 80+. You can also interview students virtually using Handshake, and you can attach the jobs to those interview sessions and have students apply. And with that, I think we'll turn it back over to Jess and try to answer some of your questions.
Yeah, thank you guys. So we have had some great questions. And Sarah, I just realized you had a second part of your question. So when you're messaging students directly, and I'm gonna let Sierra, our Handshake expert, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're messaging students directly, that is a way for you to proactively engage students before the fair even begins. So that would show up in your individual messaging with the student. Sierra, is there anything else you would want to add to that as far as where that would look or where that would be in Handshake?
In order to see if a student has replied to your messages, you will receive a notification from Handshake letting you know that a student has responded to your email. Since everything is done inside of Handshake, just remember that all of the emails will also be inside of Handshake.
Great, thank you. We also had a great question about group sessions. So is there a way for employers to know what other group sessions are scheduled at the same time so that we can attempt to allow employers to avoid conflicting in time with others?
Okay, I will definitely take a shot at this question. Yeah, from what I have seen, you are able to see which other employers have signed up for the career fair, but I am unsure if you can see their schedules. A lot of employers have not yet made their schedules live or finalized their schedules. That is a really, really great question. And if you would comment your name, we will get right back with you with a reliable answer on that.
Yeah, so if you want to send us an email or respond back, we will do research. If we don't know, we will reach out to Handshake and ask. But I think you're right, Sierra, but we want to be sure to make sure we're telling you correct information. So please email us and we will research for you and get back to you. That's a great question. And I also wanted to clarify, we had a great question about, how do employers designate which, recruiter, if it's a finance recruiter versus an IT recruiter. I just wanted to clarify that because that's been a pretty common question. So again, like Sierra mentioned, you'll be able to set qualifications for the majors you're seeking, and only the students that fall into those majors will be able to join. So that is the best way to designate, because you're not able to, change the title or name of the representative, which would be great if we could. Another option would be to use this description under your company. You can include maybe some more specific instructions there. Maybe if you're a smaller team, you could list maybe 3 to 4 of the reps' names. And I'm going to let Sierra make sure that's right. But use that description box like she mentioned earlier, because that's a way for you to be descriptive, share instructions, you're very limited on the one-on-one sessions other than choosing those majors. So be sure to take advantage of that description box under your company profile. And I think that would be a really helpful tool to use as well.
Yeah, so everything you said, Jessica, is the perfect answer to all of that is a major question that we're being asked is, how are they going to know that we're representing different divisions when we're just in here under this one organizational name? Yeah. Well, only qualified students will be able to see those one-on-one sessions. Remember the qualifications we set. And then for group sessions, that's why we say to be very descriptive so that they know that they are going to be in an information session about accounting or about supply chain management. Mm-hmm. And then it is advised, if you are a small organization, maximize your group sessions. And that was a tip I received from Handshake. If you're a small organization, you are less likely to kind of get those one-on-one with students. So maximize the use of your group sessions and really brand your company.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So I was referring to the description under the general company profile, but that's a great idea too, is maybe doing separate group sessions for each division or each group that you're recruiting for. That's a good idea too. We have another question. When I am giving my group sessions, can I share my screen, and will that be in Handshake? So Sierra, I'm going to let you answer this one.
Yes, I do believe that you can share your screen. Like I said, we will reach out to you and let you know a for sure answer. Everything will be hosted inside of Handshake. I know for sure, what I can tell you for sure right now is that if you are to use your external Zoom personal meeting room, or you're to set up a meeting within Zoom and use that external URL for a group session, you would be able to share your screen. But the only thing you can't do is share a pre-recorded link. So I will have to get with Handshake and make sure that within their video capabilities, that screen share is included. I do believe that it is, but I do not want to give you a belief answer. I want to give you a knowledge answer. So I will get back with you on that question as well. Please feel free, if you have any questions regarding the career fair, send us an email to kingcareers@utulsa.edu and we will respond very shortly.
All right, we'll give it just a couple more, maybe a minute or so, to see if any other questions roll in, and we'll follow back up with you if we haven't answered the questions completely. I wanted to also share, while we're waiting for any more questions, like Sierra said, if you think of some later, give us a call. It seems like Handshake is putting out updates pretty much daily. So, some of this information, if there's anything new, we'll be sure to send that out as well. But just to give you an idea of what we're doing to be proactive from the Career Center end is, you know, we want to make sure that students sign up for your sessions, right? So of course our marketing is number one, because this is the first virtual fair we've ever had. So we're doing everything we can to make sure those students sign up for sessions. And we're really excited about that option, because ideally you're going to know your schedule even before the day, you know, before the day of the career fair. So that's our goal for both students and employers. You know, it's not going to be like a normal career fair where you're not sure who's going to walk up to you, but you'll actually have, you know, a schedule for the day, and you'll know what students are signed up. And if you have time before the fair, you know, you could even review their documents beforehand. So we're doing everything on our end proactively to make sure students are signing up for your sessions. And I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but the earlier you set your schedule, you know, those students will come. We've already seen a good number of students register. So make sure that schedule is released to students. I would say at least 2 weeks before the fair. So that would be by a week from today, right? If I'm doing, if my calendar is on point today. So that will give students more opportunity to be proactive as well, to sign up well in advance, so you know what your day is going to look like.
And Jessica, I was able to look up the question on the screen share, and employers that are identified as hosts, which means they're the team members you assigned to the group session, will be able to share their screen with participants.
Wonderful, thank you.
And it is the same for one-on-one sessions as well. So there is screen sharing capability.
Wonderful, thank you for looking that up. Okay. All right, I think that's all the questions. I haven't seen any more come through. Give us a shout if you have any questions. This is our sole purpose. We're here to serve you, and we appreciate everyone's been so wonderful. You know, this is new to all of us, and we're doing our best to research and reach out to Handshake. So if we don't know the answer, we will find out for you. So definitely utilize us as resources. And again, like Sierra mentioned, we will be available throughout the career fair if you think of questions or have issues. But I think that's everything. I want to thank Kelly, Jennifer, and Sierra for putting this presentation together. We will be sending this out via email, so you can share this with your other representatives. We'd highly encourage that. And we'd also love for you to follow us on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And we appreciate you guys. And I think with that, we will go ahead and end the webinar. Thank you, guys.